In this segment, we're going to talk about a specialized feature called Convert Object to Outline. And what I'm going to do is simply start by just creating an embroidery ellipse, and then right-click to finish, and the object is selected. Now, if we take a look, this is one object, and it's an object that has a red fill and a blue outline. But it's still all one object, and if I select on that object and then right click, it brings up the secondary menu where we have other options, and one of the options here is Convert Outline to Object. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that now. Now it looks more or less the same, but what we can see now is my fill and my outline have been separated from each other. So that's one thing that happened, was it basically broke apart that object and made it into two. And one other thing that happened is that the outline has been converted to have two sides, which can therefore be edited. What I'll do is I'll just draw a line and show it so you can see the difference. So if I draw a line using the line tool and right click, there's my line. But notice if I wanted to edit the shape of this line, I drew the center of this line, and that's how I can modify the shape. So it's a steel stitch. It's an equal satin stitch column that goes back and forth around a center line. Now if I was to select this object right here, even though it has no fill, I can still right click and say Convert Outline to Object. And what you'll notice now is instead of having the pink wireframe down the center, it's created the pink wireframe around the edges of that object. And so the benefit here is now if I choose to edit the shape nodes, instead of just having one shape node, I have two, and therefore I could create one area of my design to be slightly thicker than another area of the design. And so that's the real difference between if I create I'll just make a new object so I have something to show the difference. If I just create a line like this, in this object I just have a center line, which if I wanted to modify my object, I can simply move that line to create a new line, but the line is staying an equal shape. Whereas this one that I had converted to be an outline object has two sides, and therefore the shape nodes on both sides of that could be modified to have I guess a thick and thin style of shape. So that's the tool that's known as Convert Object to Outline.